is Afton, and this is the Crisis Committee Breakdown. So, what is a crisis committee? Crisis committees are a more fast-paced version of a regular Model UN meeting. Rather than representing a country, you represent a character from your topic. Your goal is to assert your character's viewpoint and end the conference knowing your character would have gotten what they wanted. So your biggest takeaway should be, you are your character. Don't bring your own personal beliefs into the debate, especially if they contradict your character's beliefs. So, what is a joint crisis committee? Joint crisis committees are comprised of two or more sides that are separate from each other but work to persuade one side or control the side. You can interact with people in other committees through crises. So, what are crises? Crises are important updates that are mandated by a messenger, and they will bring that to each side. These updates can be ones sent out by the chair, in-committee updates, or important rulings that one side has imposed on the other. So an example, I was in the Jonestown Massacre Joint Crisis Committee, Cult Members versus Law Enforcement, and I was in law enforcement. So a messenger came in and said, "The public has become aware of these horrible conditions in Jonestown. How do you react?" And then the committee crisis said, "Jim Jones has decided to murder blank." That character in the committee now dies and assumes the role of another character. And another example is a Joint Crisis Committee update. Is law enforcement has decided to agree to peace talks with the heads of Jonestown. Do you accept? And then you would get like 1 minute response time. So, crisis notes. Crisis notes are a huge part of crisis committees. Without them, the committee would not flow. You can pass notes to anyone in your room, on your side at least. You do so to acquire resources you wouldn't already have and to try and sway the committee to go your way. And if you're doing like conferences online, you will most likely be passing notes on the Zoom chat feature. So, notes rundown. Basically, with your notes, you want to keep a storyline for yourself going while also remembering your personal powers in committee and what you are able to do. Crisis notes can also be sent to the chair. So, what does this mean? Let's say I was Julius Caesar, like I have a lot of power, I'm the ruler of everything. And I don't know what people are writing in their notes to each other, so I have to guess and have blind faith in what I decide to write. And in the end, I survived and ran away with Cleopatra to Egypt to escape my demise. So that's how I survived as Julius Caesar through crisis notes. Here are some helpful tips. Remember that joint crisis committees are fictional. The outcome that happened in real life isn't necessarily what is going to happen in this crisis. Be assertive. If you know your own personal powers, use them to your advantage to sway the committee your way. And lastly, have fun. It can be your first committee, so do not be nervous.